What is going on, Raider Nation? Ghost here, just talking about the firing of Dennis Allen. I mean, the time has come. Guy didn't look good at all. The last game, he was terrible. They let Ryan Tannehill destroy the defense, and defense is supposed to be your job. You're supposed to be a defensive coach, and you blew it. There's a lot of things that are bad, and people can say there's no talent. I believe there's talent on the defense to stay competitive, and that's not an excuse. I'm not trying to overrate players or anything. But there's enough people on defense to have some stability, at least some type of fight in them. Not some terrible scheme and some guys getting outnumbered. I mean, I just saw some stupid screenshots of guys where there's like 3 wide receivers on the right and 1 DB on that side, and it's terrible. That's coaching. That's all on the coaching staff. So where do you go from here? Well, obviously the interim coach has to take over. I think Reggie is on his way out at the end of the season. You can't fire a GM early in the year. You can't. You have to wait till that season goes out so all the office stuff can clean out. But there's a lot of things that you got to hope that the general manager has to be able to draft and show promise, and we haven't seen a whole lot of that. And there were times we saw it in Derek Carr. You got to hope someone hires somebody that can help Derek Carr out because I think he's in the cold. And then there's of course the Khalil Mack. You have to hope there's progress in what you see in Khalil Mack. So yeah, the Raiders look like a terrible team right now, and it's embarrassing, but I'll get over it. My expectations were not very high to begin with, sadly. But yeah, I said Dennis Allen's hot seat was pretty hot, and he was lit on fire. He blew it up. They were terrible. 8-22, I think, is the worst record, or one of the worst records for a head coach. And there's a lot of jokes about we haven't kept a coach for 3 whole seasons, but I think this firing is actually justified, and it's the correct move. There's no doubt about it that there's no regrets to it, honestly. The guy was over his head, but the problem is this was Reggie's guy. Reggie hired him, and he trusted him, and Reggie has to take responsibility too, and this goes on pretty much everybody there. There's plenty of guys that on the defense where there's talent, guys are not past their prime just because they're 30 or 31. I don't buy that. That's not an excuse. These guys are all athletes. There's enough talent to stay afloat. Dennis Allen, the defense got lit up. So, yeah, people wonder, okay, who do you want to coach next year? And I know the search and everything will kind of play itself out when the season's over, but Todd Bowles, that's the guy I want. Arizona Cardinals defensive coordinator. That's the first name that stands out to me, and I feel he could be the guy that would make a difference, that defensive coordinator of the Cardinals. If anyone's watched the Cardinals defense and the personnel they have, he's made them great and elite. I think he would be the perfect coach that we could use on defense. I know the offense is an issue in itself, but some of the talent on that offensive line is not really good in the first place. So, yeah, I don't really know what else to say, but Allen was kind of a failed tenure, and people can point out the fact that Hugh Jackson was let go of, but the whole thing of a regime wanting to keep their own guy, I mean, you kind of understand that. You have to hire your own person when you're a general manager. Usually you don't keep the head coach there when you might not get along with him or if it's a guy you can't work with. That's just how business works. So, yeah, I don't regret Hugh going because Hugh Jackson, the head coach, was terrible. Hugh Jackson, the offensive coordinator, was nice. I miss that, but they gave in to pressure, and Hugh, obviously, once he became the head coach, he made some dumb decisions. Everybody knows I wasn't happy when we were winning games at times because they were looking stupid. So with that being said, yeah, you just have to hope this team doesn't go 0-16. I do not want to see that, and I will be very angry over that happening. If they go 1-15, 2-14, I'll live with it. It is what it is, but don't put the embarrassment of not even being able to win a game at this point. There's talent on this team that there should be the ability to win somewhere, just somewhere. But yeah, team looks terrible. It is what it is. It's a bye week, so once again, won't see any Raider videos until the next game in week 6. It'll be some time from now, but let me know what y'all think. Who do you want as head coach in the future? And don't say Gruden. I mean, I know you might be dreaming, but I don't think Gruden is a realistic option. That should be out the window. So that being said, we'll see you guys later. Go Raiders.